Okay, so I saw this article as I was working out earlier, and I was like, "Hey, this would be relevant to talk about," because I think I might be affected by this. I mean, you guys know as you're watching this, and whatever time, future or just currently present, I just lost my job about a couple days ago. It's Monday, so it's been since Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so Monday. Technically 3 days. May 22nd was my last day at my job. It was very sudden. Me and some good colleagues got let go, and I've been at my current role for 6.5 years, and so it was due to org changes. Who knows? But during that time, if you looked on LinkedIn or whatnot, a lot of people lost their jobs as of the same day, if not the past week, um, the week of the 22nd. So whatever that was, what the 17th or the 22nd, and due to AI or even jobs reporting that uh, they had profit increases and margin increases, all kinds of good things for companies. Yet some people got laid off. Tech people got laid off. I am myself work in cybersecurity. Been doing it for 16 years, and so yeah, I saw this and I thought it'd be a great time to talk about it because it's a hot topic right now, and I think it relates to what's going on in terms of the old landscape, economic landscape, the pestilence landscape, the war landscape. Let's just talk about and everything that's kind of collapsing right now with disclosure of aliens. I've been talking about ticks. I never thought I would even talk about ticks. Not because I wouldn't, but um, just like how that's being very prevalent right now, and then we're hearing the whole talk of AI as well. And of course I know about it. So let's click here. Let's click record. It says here. It says AI leaders warn of mass job losses from advancing technology. Push for government intervention. So you see here, AI leaders warn of mass job losses. Push for government intervention. You have Sam Altman from OpenAI, Sundar Pichai or Pichai, however you say it, from Google, Elon, and Mark Zuckerberg. And like Mark Zuckerberg, they had like 8,000 like people from Meta drop. Like that's a lot of people, brother. Um, and you can see in that AI image, it is a robot taking over a job, and much less doesn't matter if they think they're doing it better. But there's something that's happened, I guess, with thinking that AI can replace not even people in my job, but jobs in general. And somehow that's going to be better, make more money. Those things are just super subjective and they have not been fleshed out whatsoever. But for some reason, the singularity of what we talked about, how a jump in AI, creating an AI God type stuff, would eclipse. We would create our own God where we couldn't understand it because the information barrier between where we're at and where it has gone would be so, galaxy brain from here to the largest black hole ever. We couldn't, light years. That's how it would feel. Let's see here. Let's read. It says, according to the report, the Washington report from the according to the report from the Washington Post, Elon Musk is outlining a vision for AI-driven future that it relies heavily on federal support to address widespread unemployment. As artificial intelligence continues to reshape industries at a rapid pace, prominent figures in tech sector are increasingly calling on governments to step in with bold solutions. I agree. Musk, whose company at the forefront of AI robotics development, has publicly advocated. Let me move my camera here a little bit because I can't see the article for direct government payments to citizens displaced by these technologies, meaning like universal basic income, which is not good. Approach envisions as a system where prosperity is maintained even as traditional jobs vanish. Here it is. Universal high income via checks issued by federal government is the best way to deal with unemployment caused by AI. Yeah, but then that makes us reliant on governments, and then that makes us reliant on what they say and what they do. So we become more of a communist type nation. We become more totalitarian, where your freedom of speech and the way we've talked about this, your freedom of speech and the way you talk and the way you act will be curated, and you'll be afraid to say something because you have to feed your family. And then when you can't feed your family, when you can't do it, then drastic actions cause for drastic measures cause for drastic actions, and meaning that there's going to be a civil war of sorts where people are going to rebel because they don't want to abide by this, and um, monopolies of organizations will try to homogenize the power that they have to keep people under them and to allow AI to take over, and then more people lose their jobs, and so they become more dependent. You see what I'm saying? See where this is going? one world ruler, one world government, one world currency, one world nation, right? One world religion, right? We're talking about a beast system. So this is why I'm talking about it. It says Musk, whose company's forefront, okay, approach envisions a system where prosperity is maintained even as traditional jobs vanish. Universal high income issued by federal government, best way to deal with it. The discussion highlights growing concerns about AI executives that automation could eliminate millions of positions across sectors. Leaders are urging policymakers to prepare comprehensive safety nets, including large-scale redistribution measures to prevent social and economic upheaval. Look, I haven't even reviewed this article, and I'm spot on. The push comes from amid accelerating advancements in generative AI and autonomous systems, raising urgent questions about the speed of the workforce transition. Critics, however, express skepticism about whether the wealthy tech entrepreneurs would ultimately back the substantial tax increases and funding mechanisms required to sustain programs long term. The debate underscores the tensions between innovation driven disruption and practical challenges of supporting affected workers and communities. Meaning, people love money. People need money. Hey, I need money. I need money for to support my lifestyle, to support the lifestyle that I have. I haven't been laid off since um, just just over 9 years now, and that was at my local church. And I was working for them doing some desktop engineering and cybersecurity consulting. And when they were laid off, they mentioned it like five months in advance, the beginning of 2017. And by the end of May, I was the first person to go, at least in technology, and that was okay. But I prayed about it. I told the Lord He could have my job because He's the one that gave me my job, and I was the first one to go. My wife cried because we had just recently got married in 2016, and 9 months later, what is it, September? So yeah, so like in May, something like that. 8 months later or so, I was gone, and we both worked at the same spot. So she had to walk. She walked me out and cried, and it was okay because 2 months later, I found a job, and that led me to where I was at today. Couple of jobs that I was able to work and get a new job, which had led me to this current job, and I had been there for 6.5 years. And unfortunately, to my surprise, and some of my really good close colleagues that we've worked together, all on the same team, reporting to the same manager, all were treated the same way, and we lost our jobs. And it was my boss literally read a prompt. He looked from left to right, and that was it. And that was what we were served. So um, but this idea that AI can replace, or AI is going to need management, but then it means that the people who are in power are going to lose those as well if they don't move along and try to somehow make themselves relevant. So then what happens when you have no workforce? What happens when you have people who are dependent? What happens when six figures, however many figures, you 7 figures, I don't know how many, whatever figures you make, and you need to support your lifestyle and or your family because life has changed. Back then it was just me and my wife, and we weren't even she wasn't even pregnant yet. Um and what is it um she I lost my job, and we were living in a one bedroom apartment with two incomes, and that was it. And then we fast forward, I have a mortgage, a beautiful house. I live in a very nice area, I would say. That's taxes. My house equity is going up, which is great, but me getting a raise or anything like that is not. And then I just got hit with a job loss as well. Um, and so on top of that, I have car payments. I've got extracurriculars for my son. I got to meet my wife's needs and the things that she desires, because those things are very important. All the things that matter. And so when it comes to something like this, like, just I'm one blip out of all that. And there are many other people who are doing the exact same thing. So what happens when those things are removed and they're replaced by AI or some kind of AI god or some kind of AI system? And then you have a universal basic income, and then you have this universal basic high income. So you're constantly dependent, and you're like, it's technically like unemployment. So then do you even seek to be better? Do you seek to live in this comfortable space? Do you even have a desire to move forward or to even gain anything because somebody's supplementing your income? Mind you, I don't like working. I mean, I like working. What I mean is, like, I would rather do this for a living and make all my money and talk about what's going on and share my thoughts and be fully funded through YouTube. That would be great. And donations or whatever. But I don't make a single penny. I don't make anything. I have to have X amount of watch hours to even do that. I don't even have that. So I have a ton of videos, but I don't have enough watch hours. I don't have enough subscribers. I don't have any of that stuff. So it will take me however long it's going to take for that to even happen. I have to have a certain amount of criteria. I've met one criteria, and then I have to meet another criteria of, like, you have to have like 4,000 watch hours or something, and I don't have that at all. I'm not even. I think I'm like 500 something watch hours or something like that. I have a lot to go. And that's been over a span of like 8 years. And that's obviously me and, my fault as well with content on and off. But even like that, so what do you do? What do you do when you don't have anything left? Not anything left, but you clearly have to realize like there's something about this that's also biblical, something about this that shapes the world. And all this stuff is meant on purpose for a reason. And you just have to look at these things through the lens of scripture and obviously through the lens of what the Lord is doing in your life. And so my trust is in the Lord. I've never had more peace, but also I'm scared, I'm excited, I'm hopeful, I'm not fearful, but like just nervous, anxiety, not even anxiety, but like I don't know what's next. But I feel like the very next thing for my life is very purposeful. And at the same time, I am encouraged by you and by the people who've prayed for me. There's so many people out there who won't have that. So many people out there who are not experiencing that. So many people who got let go are in the darkest place right now. And so, but and that's why we need to talk about it and preach the gospel and talk about stuff like this. And people need to see your videos, they need to see my videos and see other videos talking about stuff like this. That's why I talked about it today because it's very relevant for me and what I'm going through right now. And it's Memorial Day, so it's a holiday. And yeah, I just thought I would get something out for people to understand that you're not alone. And this is very real, and there's a lot of people that are affected. And I'm praying for you. Please pray for me. And at the same time, I fully believe the Lord will provide and meet every need, even the ones that feel like they are. I put myself here. I've sinned and made too many. I've sinned and shouldn't have bought this thing, but the Lord will provide. He'll cover it. And he'll show us how to draw us closer to him for a reason, right? So my mission was done there. My mission is still here. And I'm really excited that I've made more videos, literally like consecutively longer form videos than my short form content right now with the shorts or the reels because it's just sparked a fire in me to want to do it again because I feel like it's all I got. It's just to talk about the Lord and talk about it on a YouTube platform that I make no money. I make no money, $0, not a penny, not anything. But what I do get from this is the absolute encouragement and the camaraderie and the community from y'all. And that is priceless. That is what I actually value because it's affecting people's lives, it's changing people's lives, or it's speaking into some people's lives. And that's the reason why I do this. So, anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this. Generative AI, autonomous systems, people losing their jobs, universal basic high income, crazy nuts. If you're first time here, if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. Leave me a like and a comment. Let me know what you think. And yeah, maybe praying for me and let me know if I can pray for you. See you in the next one.